Hello, and welcome to the Undesirables Podcast.
Wow, I said it the exact same way as last time. Love it. Continue.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I saying? Welcome to episode 2.
Yeah.
Today we'll be talking about the Golden Trio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should start?
Yeah, wait, I thought it was characters. I forget.
Yeah, but we'll start with the Golden Trio.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
So we should start with...
Saying thank you to everybody who watched the last episode.
Yes, thank you so much.
And my apologies for the audio issues.
Hopefully it's fixed
I'm
today.
very frustrated by that one. Anyways, I just had to say that. Get off my chest.
Oh, and also I started listening to the books on Audible.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'm only on chapter 3
of the first
think,
one?
Yeah, I think an hour in or something.
No, he's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I know. Dude, number 2, you're going to love it. Especially when he does the basilisk voice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, jump it in. Golden Trio.
Mr. Chosen One.
Yeah, Mr. Harry Potter, Undesirable number 1.
That is him.
Yeah, that is him. So we just figured we're just gonna, just break down the characters now. Finally a real episode.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So, Harry Potter, what are your thoughts, concerns?
He's not my favorite character.
I was
I was thinking about him more, and you know how there's that meme going around TikTok where it's I'm the main character, or this person thought they were the main character, right?
Yeah.
It's just people going above. I mean, technically he is a main character, but he knows he's the main character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I think once he figures out he knew there was something weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the beginning.
I think that's kind of why when he went into it, it wasn't because he grew up just being the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes and they're just you're Harry Potter.
You're famous.
Yeah. And so he goes into it just a little full of himself.
Really? Yeah, he does. Then I think I don't know. He's a weird one because I love how people say he's he was never that talented.
I mean, he is, but I wouldn't say he's the most talented. He's talented because he had to be.
Right.
Right. He was put in those situations where he had to.
Yeah, but that I don't think that
Milo.
Oof. Scratching the floor.
No, he's scratching the box.
Yeah, I think that doesn't discredit his talent though.
No. I'm just saying
you were pretty ruthless when we talk about this at work though.
When they're hyping him up for the order.
Yeah. And
they're oh, he killed a basilisk and he produced a Patronus and stuff.
No, not the order. Wasn't it Dumbledore's army?
Dumbledore's armies, right?
Yeah.
And it's yeah, he did all those things, but he had to.
Yeah. And
I'm sure if the other characters were put in that situation, they would have had to sort of, become that person too, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair, and when it came to the Dementor thing, he just needed to learn. And
also he didn't just do it.
Yeah.
Lupin was teaching him and stuff, right?
Yeah, no, and he messed it up, everybody.
Yeah, and it's same thing with the legitimacy when Snape is trying to teach him.
That one was just kind of stupid because he didn't try.
Yeah, but also it just proves that he's not a prodigy.
No,
per se.
He's not. He's not like a Tom Riddle.
Yeah, he was put into those situations, so he had to become the person that he was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of, I don't know. I mean, what I like about, what was that? Okay, anyway, sorry. I got distracted by a noise. Yeah, but what I like about Harry, though, is that, he did kind of step up to the plate for a lot of this shit. And I don't know. I think, so what do you think what good things about him? Jesus, here we go again. Milo, stop it.
Well, I think he actively tries to be a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, he even says it himself, what if I turn to the dark side, or whatever
what if
happens,
I'm bad?
Right? Yeah. He actively knows about being bad and tries not to be, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see it too where the very first time he meets Draco and them, right?
Yeah.
And they're yeah, let's be friends.
He goes, but don't be friends with the gross one.
Yeah. And he's he's never had friends growing up. You would think he would jump at every chance. It's oh, more friends. right?
I wonder why. Like, you don't think the weird part about Harry is that he never had one Muggle friend,
Yeah.
which was weird.
So you would think like all these people want to be his friends. He would be like, oh yeah, I'm like all you Slytherins want to be my friend.
Yeah.
But already at that young age, he knows like something's a bit off.
Yeah.
Um.
There's a cat. Hi, cat. How's it going? Anyways, I keep losing my train of thought because Mr. Milo, and he's clawing into my knee, but it doesn't hurt yet.
Okay.
Where was I going with this?
He's a good person.
He is a great person. You know what I noticed about the difference between Harry in the movies and the books is that he's actually less well-mannered in the books. He's not super polite like he is in the movies. Yeah. I feel like that was probably on the part of the directors because they wanted him to be likable.
Yeah, more likable.
Because in the books, at times, he's really not that likable.
Mm-hmm. No, I know, exactly.
I know. And then I think like some of the weaker, I think it might just be the writing, but some of the weaker moments with Harry, especially in like the fifth one, like we listened to when Dumbledore was telling him about the prophecy, he just kept repeating himself. He kept saying, I don't understand. Like that same line over and over and over again. And then, I don't know, Harry's just he's a weird one.
Yeah.
He's a weird one because like I like the guy and I feel for the guy.
And it's hard because he's the main character and it's like, oh, this is who you're rooting for.
Yeah, you're supposed to be rooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never not rooting for him.
Yeah.
But he was never like, oh, I'm like so excited for what Harry's doing and all this stuff, right?
And you know what? I think it's really funny because in the last one I said I didn't like the Half-Blood Prince as much, but I've been re-listening to it just because I'm watching this like YouTube channel again. And I'm starting to like realize, I'm like, okay, I think Harry has a little bit more of a personality in this one compared to the rest of the books.
Yeah, no, that's the one I really like him in.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's just more likable in that one.
Yeah, like he's trying more, like he's talking more, and like I don't know.
He's a little like goofier.
A little goofier, yeah. And like, you know, he kind of played Ron and Hermione with the whole lucky potion thing. Yeah. Which was great. I love that part. It was beautiful. Yeah. And then Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, no, I liked him in that one. Even though it's like my least favorite movie. But
yeah.
It was fun.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think disliking Harry is on Daniel Radcliffe either. No. I think he just did what the directors told him to do, sort of thing,
that's
right?
what you have to do.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about...
I know. Is there really much to say about Harry? Because, like...
relationships. How do you feel about him and Ron?
I like him and Ron.
Yeah?
Yeah, they seem like close.
Like, they're like brothers. You know, they
brothers.
fight
all
the time. And they have misunderstandings, like the whole Goblet of Fire and all that.
I know. And then, like, if you want to, like, do, like, a small segue into Ron, it's like Ron is overshadowed by the fact that Harry's so famous. Yeah. And then, not to mention, he's also overshadowed by his older brothers and his younger sister, too. Yeah. So then it probably makes it weird for him. And Harry being rich, that's also another big deal. Yeah. For Ron. So. Yeah. Yeah, and then, I don't know, should we just get into Ron? Let's get into Ron. Yeah, I mean, Harry, I realized that talking about Harry is just kind of redundant because everyone knows already.
Yeah, it's just Harry. The whole show is about Harry. Right?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so... Ron's is a very underrated wizard, I feel.
Yeah, I used to really like Ron.
You used to?
Yeah. It's not as much anymore. I just felt like he just got sort of annoying in the last little bit. Because I'm a huge Hermione fan. Yeah. And I felt like, just as a woman, like, she just needs to move on. Like, he was just...
What do you mean?
He was just being a little bit of a dick sometimes. Several times.
Yeah. And she was no better, especially in the sixth one.
No, but it just felt like she was just like waiting around for him.
Yeah.
And I felt like such a strong character, she should have just like moved on.
I don't know. It's like I like the Ron and Hermione thing. What I found annoying was Ron in the Deathly Hallows. It's like they tried to shove his character progression at you a little too much. Like when it came to like the funny, you know, like the kissing when they kissed, the first kiss, right? Yeah. But then before that, like a lot of it was him like trying to like try and get it back into Hermione's good graces, and he was like kind of kissing her ass a lot.
Yeah.
And it was a little annoying.
Yeah.
But I think before that, Ron, when he first started, he was like, I think he was like really oppressed. Not oppressed, but like an outcast.
Yeah.
And like in a bad way.
Yeah.
And then like and the worst part was he also got the short end of the stick of everything. Like hand me down robes, hand me down wands,
mm-hmm.
you know. And then his parents, like you could tell his parents didn't think he would achieve to higher things. Like when he became a prefect, his mom was just like, "Oh,
wow, good job.
You're a prefect. Oh, you Ron. Wow."
Yeah.
And then when Hermione was a prefect, she goes, "Oh, I knew that was coming."
Yeah. I think he also sort of took advantage of the fact that he was Harry's friend too, because he went in knowing like, you know, I'm the youngest Weasley boy. There's all the other Weasleys, and you know, we're poor and you know, we like Muggles and all that sort of stuff. That sort of put him on the bottom of the boat, and it's just like he makes friends, and he's like, oh my god, it's Harry Potter, like So I feel like he didn't really have to deal with any of those things that he would have had to deal with if he hadn't been friends with Harry.
True. I mean, he also got, you know, he still got bullied.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Especially with Harry not around, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, but Harry got also, but it was just Malfoy that was bullying him.
Yeah.
I know. But I realized that the students of Hogwarts are just kind of shit kids, except for like the main.
I mean, that's also just kids in general. Also, too, you're kind of viewing it from Harry's point of view too.
Yeah.
So things aren't always exactly, you know, maybe right the way Harry tells a story.
Yeah, like with what's his name? Snape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what I liked about the sixth one was when Snape was teaching Defense Against Dark Arts.
Mm-hmm.
He what did he do? Oh no. Here we go again, Ryan. Yeah, when he was teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts, he was all pissed off with Snape. He goes, oh, Snape was talking about the Dark Arts like he loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hermione was just like, that's kind of how you talked about it in the DA lessons last year.
Yeah.
But, you know, because you said like this, that, and the other thing, and it was very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that kind of shows the different perspective, because it is from Harry's perspective in the books.
Yeah, so you have to remember that too, that not everything is exactly like how it's portrayed.
That's true.
Right?
I know, but also Ron, I think also like Ron's like shortcoming was his just confidence. Like just no confidence in himself. I think he doubted himself a lot.
Yeah.
And when you have self-doubt, that leads to, you know, not very good things. Yeah. Like right now, like again, no, you can't do that. Chewing on the mic cables. Yeah. Yeah, Ron's a weird one. Yeah. But I like Ron though. He's got a great personality though. Yeah. He's like a solid dude. I just think I think A, he's trying to fit in too much, and B, he's overshadowed by like people just doubt him just because he's Ron. Well, he was also sort of the comic relief. That too. He also likes food a lot. Yeah. Yeah. What do you want? Yeah. And he I don't know, he's really good. I like Ron. Dude, Ron is just a good character, man. He definitely keeps Harry grounded too, in that. Yeah, that's true. You know, he doesn't let it get to his head too much. I know. I liked him in the movies, actually. I liked him. I think I like him better in the books, but I liked him better in Deathly Hallows Part 1 of the movies, when Harry tried to take off, and then he was just like, no one's going to die for me. And then he goes, oh, for you. Oh, you really think we died for you? Yeah. We're not going to die for you. So it's way bigger than that, mate. Yeah. Literally said that. Yeah, I love that. And then, yeah. And then his whole relationship with Hermione. Honestly, it got pretty cold, especially like in the end. Yeah. Like right before they like got together, kind of. Like in the sixth one. Yeah. Like Ron was like horrible to Hermione. Yeah. It would have been interesting to see a little more of their relationship afterwards. Like after the whole war. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell him to. I know. It was just the epilogue. What are you doing? I'm just gonna tell them not to jump around. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it just kind of went like, oh, we're together now, and then it's just like, oh, look, we're married.
Yeah,
and it's like their relationship would definitely need more work than that.
Yeah, and that's what J.K. Rowling said. Yeah. She said that they would
need therapy, and I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that the other day actually about them being like, yeah, Ron's like not gonna be the best husband, and Hermione's gonna be like really involved with her work.
I was gonna say, she'd be really career driven, and
I know, but what's funny though? She said that Ron and Harry became Aurors.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't even think they went back for their last year.
No, they just became Aurors.
Yeah,
and then Ron quit being an Auror to go help George.
And then, to work at the.
And then you get to the fucking Cursed Child where he's in the joke shop, and it didn't make any sense because they never mentioned it in the Cursed Child why he was in the joke shop, or any of the past or anything like that. Really, it was just here and now. I just realized that they never explored the past in the Cursed Child except for like the time travel stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it would have been nice to know a little more between the end of the book and the Cursed Child.
Yeah, I would love to see more of. Yeah, you're right. I think like a young Ron and Hermione's relationship after the world went peaceful. Yeah. I'm like, why didn't they do movies like that? They could have. Like have Harry and Ron as Aurors, and then just figuring other shit out. Get away from the Voldemort stuff for a bit.
Because and over. Deep fakes are really good now. I'm sure they could just make it.
What, you're going to want to make a deep fake?
Well, with their faces, make a movie.
Okay.
When they're younger.
Okay, let's do that then.
I mean, I can't make a deep fake.
I could try.
Okay. Well, what about Hermione?
Hermione is a fantastic character. I did mention in the last one how she is very narrow-minded. I still stand behind that.
She's my favorite character. I was actually watching a video the other day, and it was like favorite characters throughout the years. And for the longest time, Hermione was like everyone's number one character.
Yeah.
And then Harry was pretty far down. It was like Hermione and then Draco, and then Dumbledore shot up.
Oh, yeah. Dumbledore's awesome.
I don't know if he shot up when he died around like the 6th one, or
I think
maybe it was when Fantastic Beasts came out.
Oh, okay.
And then
I like old Dumbledore.
Then Harry went really far up.
Yeah.
And then obviously when Draco Talk came around with TikTok, he shot back up. I think at the end it was Harry and Dumbledore was the number one.
Yeah.
But like for years and years, it was Hermione like way ahead of everyone for favorite character.
Yeah, Hermione, she's the biggest thing I don't like about Hermione, and everyone's gonna call me sexist, but she's nagging. She nags everybody.
I think that's just her, though.
Yeah, but no, it's like
you
Harry,
also have to remember
you need to learn all clemency. It's like, no, I want to use it.
Yeah, but you have to remember too that she was born before everyone else, right?
She was?
Yeah, so she was born a year before.
Oh,
she was born in September. I believe it's September. So by the time she got her owl, that year had already started.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they're all born in 80, right?
Yeah.
1980. So she was born in 79. But when she got her owl.
What?
Yeah, she was born in September. So when she got her owl, that year of Hogwarts had already started. So she had to wait for the next year.
Oh.
Well, I mean, she didn't get an owl. She got someone visiting
Wait.
her.
So she's a year older
She's a year older, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she's born in September. I believe Ron is born in like March.
Yeah.
And obviously Harry at the end of July.
Yeah.
So when Harry goes into this, all he knows is Muggle stuff. And then right at the end of July, he's only got like 1 month before school. He finds out he's a wizard and he does all this stuff and he goes and gets the book and he doesn't have a lot of time to think about it. Whereas Hermione, she's probably already a little nerd.
Yeah.
And then she finds out she's a wizard and she has a whole year to read everything and like do all this research. Right? So she's going in there just like stoked. And she like knows everything, and I don't know what the point of this was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's like, that's the difference between sort of her and Harry when they first go in, is that she's been preparing for this for a year.
Yeah, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she's funny. Yeah.
I thought they were all just the same age.
No, that's why she also knows so much too. Is like, because
I wonder
people
if
have questioned, like, why does she know this if she's a Muggle too, right? But she had a whole year to, like,
yeah, but do you
read
think
as
did
much
she?
as she can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did she buy her books immediately?
Maybe.
She could have.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like McGonagall or whoever went
Yeah,
to
I think
visit
it was
her.
McGonagall that went to her.
So I'm sure she brought information for them to read up on and stuff.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
You're like, here, read that. And then she's like, okay, I love reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I think the Gryffindor and Hermione really stands out in the end because, you know, she really stepped up.
Yeah.
And like a lot of things.
Yeah, you can definitely see it where she'll put, you know, the good.
Yeah.
Before studying. She missed her whole last year instead of going to school.
Yeah, but she went back.
Yeah, but I mean, at the time.
At the time,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also it sort of reminds me of like when nerds get shot down for stuff is her bullying. Like, you know, when you're really excited about something.
Yeah.
And you just like start talking about it. Like Harry Potter with us. Right? And you can tell that other people don't care.
Oh,
right?
That's me and Apex Legends.
Yeah, when you talk to me and I just zone you out.
That's everybody at work. Okay.
But you know, when you get like you're super excited about something.
Yeah.
I see this a lot with like, you know, nerdy people like us. Where you're just so excited about something.
Yeah, and no one gives a shit.
No one cares. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay. And that reminds me of Hermione. Every time she's so excited. And like she knows all the answers and she's just excited to be there and in her class.
And then Snape is a real prick.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, okay, like you need to calm down, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, like
I know, but every other teacher loves it.
Yeah,
they encourage it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hermione. What should I say about Hermione? I don't know. I think she's a cutie. What else? Well, like, what do you think her like? What do you think her like shortcomings are?
Her shortcomings?
Yeah, because you love her.
I think she's perfect.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's hard because she's such like a strong female character.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, I know where this is going. Yeah.
No, I don't really. I don't know. It's so hard.
How?
I don't know. I think she just doesn't put herself first.
No.
As much as she could. Right?
No, she doesn't.
And like, I think you see that a lot with like, in the fourth one, right? And Victor sees someone and he's like, wow, she's really pretty and she's really smart.
Yeah.
And at the time, Hermione doesn't really see that about herself, right? She's like just got her teeth fixed. She's still a nerd.
Yep.
And everything. And yeah, she's just like,
I don't know, smart and
yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's smart and probably a little.
And I mean, even
makes you feel nice.
Ron says it later where he's like, we would be nowhere without her. Like, we can't do this without Hermione.
That's true.
And they couldn't. They would just be like,
no, they would
walking
be lost
in circles.
No,
like,
the Horcruxes would take years, and they probably wouldn't even figure it out.
Yeah,
all of it. Yeah.
I mean, she brewed the whole Polyjuice potion in the second year
when she was 12 or 13, I guess.
When the first year when they fall into that pit and she's like, you just have to relax, like it's fine.
No, she had a dumb moment there. That was a great moment. It was hilarious. She was just like, she goes, you need to set it on fire, and then she was just like, and then Ron's like, okay, make a fire. She's like, I don't have any wood. And then he was just like, are you a witch or not? She goes, oh yeah, and then she does it. Yeah, no, that was a bad example. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's so many moments throughout the year where it's like, you know, in the end, without them, Harry would have died first year. Yeah, well,
I mean, Ron and Hermione were pretty pivotal in the first adventure.
I feel like that sort of, until the end of the war, that's sort of forgotten. It's all like Harry's the chosen one. Yeah. You know, and it's like...
but in the first one, it was like the whole trapdoor thing. That called on each one of their skills. Yeah. So like definitely. It was like Harry in Quidditch for the key, and then like Ron with the chess, obviously, and then Hermione with logic. With that riddle. And then that's what I like about Hermione is that she is really smart logically. It's just I think but like I said in the last one, just when it comes to, she's not willing to accept far-fetched ideas. She's not an out-of-the-box thinker.
I think that also has to do with the fact that she is Muggle-born, that it's hard for her to wrap her
brain around something
if she doesn't read it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah. But I still feel that way. You know, well, especially, but you would think, well, it's like I said in the last one, you would think because she's in, you know, a wizarding world and, you know, all this crazy shit's there, you know, stuff beyond belief. And yet she hears about a super powerful wand and she doesn't believe it. Yeah. I mean, like,
I think that also it has to do with her being in Gryffindor and not like Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, a shortcoming about Hermione. She runs away from her problems.
It's true. No, totally.
It's true. She was trying to avoid, she was like trying to say, oh, Harry, like, yeah, I broke your wand. Just practice with this one. It will be fine. Yeah. And then when she loses her wand, she's like, I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah. Granted, she was using Bellatrix's wand that just tortured her and done a lot of bad things. Yeah. But, you know. Yeah. I don't know. It was pretty funny. Harry was just like basically saying hypocrite, but because she just got tortured, he's like, I won't say it. Yeah. Hermione. Yeah, I could talk about Hermione all day. Emma Watson's a queen.
I love Emma Watson.
I want to interview her. Emma Watson. Hey, how's it going? You want to do an interview? No? Okay. Anyways, so one of my favorite characters, Mr. Albus Dumbledore.
Mr. Albus Percival Wilfred Brian
Dumbledore. Yeah. No, wait. Dumbledore's a great character, and you know what I love about Harry Potter in general?
What?
Every character, including someone like Dumbledore, has a weakness. Yeah. Everyone does. And do you know, trivia time, do you know what Albus Dumbledore's weakness is?
Lemon drops.
Wrong. Very wrong.
No, I don't know.
No, you don't know. What I love about Dumbledore is that his shortcoming is his desire for power. And that's so true, though. It's like he put his whole life on hold, like his family life, to become the most powerful wizard he could be. And he was already super talented and super smart anyways. And as a young man, he basically just fell in love with another man. And that's kind of what made him try and be a dark wizard. Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't really give a shit about being a dark wizard. He just cared about doing what Grindelwald was doing. Yeah. Just because he wanted to be with Grindelwald all the time. But he also had this desire for knowledge and power. And I think that is a really, really cool concept, is because he's so wise and he's so powerful but when it comes to his shortcoming of wanting power made him being not disown his family, but just be or his brother tried to disown him. Yeah. No, I really like Dumbledore. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I think he's all right.
What?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he's all right. He's not my favorite.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I like him in the first couple ones. He's a little more eccentric. Okay. But I mean, that's also just the director and stuff like that.
And the writer.
But yeah, I felt like he had a lot of secrets.
Yeah, he did.
And
that was part of his problem.
Yeah, and then he sort of tried to make people feel like their friend.
Yeah.
When they didn't really know anything about him. Right? Like Harry thought he knew everything going into this. Yeah. And Dumbledore kind of just left him high and dry.
Well, again, it's kind of the perspective thing, right?
But he also knew he was going to die. It felt like he could have, gave Harry a little more there.
What, saying like, I'm going to die?
No, just a little more hint on how to go forward.
Yeah. And I think Dumbledore believed, and rightfully so, that he knew how certain people would act. Because I feel like, do you feel like it would change much? What do you think would be different if Dumbledore told Harry that he was going to die? But he didn't tell him how he was going to die. But what if he just told him he was going to die at the end of the year?
Well, I think that would have changed his opinion on a few of the characters.
Yeah.
Right? Because he left thinking Snape was the worst ever.
I know, but I think that was needed though, for things to play out the way they did.
Yeah. And then also he knew that Harry was going to have to die eventually, right?
Yeah, well, you're not going to tell someone, "Hey, bud,
no, but
you're going to have to die." Yeah.
He didn't tell Snape until the end too, right?
Yeah, vegetarians. Anyways, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's all right.
No, I like Dumbledore. Dumbledore's
he's really
a great guy.
Strong.
He's beautiful. I love that about him, that he's so strong.
Yeah.
Dude, he can do a perfect breaststroke. Did you know?
And no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can.
And there's so many times where you don't even realize how strong he is. And then he'll just use like wordless magic or not do anything.
Yeah.
And something will happen. And you're not even thinking about it. But then when you're like, oh, hey, he just
like with the glasses and the Dursleys when they just tapping them on the head.
Yeah, like you didn't even realize he did something.
Yeah. Well, you know what's cool about Dumbledore though is like he's so powerful. He can literally, I'm not joking, see magic. He can see it, which is crazy. That was my favorite part about the Half-Blood Prince is when they went to the cave. Like he literally examined this wall. He was just staring at a wall for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, how crude, right? Because he realized he had to do a blood sacrifice. And then he was just like, yeah, it was crazy. And then like the fact that and then once again, he just kept like examining the lake and he goes, oh, okay, I got to get this boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. No, I like Dumbledore. I know what you're saying. He's great. He's perfect. He's not perfect, but he's great.
Yeah, he's a good character. I wouldn't say he's my favorite though.
Yeah. Someone here?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Interesting.
I wonder if Seb ordered food.
I like food. Anyways.
Yeah, well, because we just watched the second of the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Again?
Just I mean, a previous month, like a month or two ago, we watched the second one. And yeah, I never thought that I would say that Dumbledore can get it. But
what does that mean?
You know, Jude Law.
Well, wait, you want to bend him over?
Sure.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Are you excited for the next movie?
No.
The Secrets of Dumbledore? No.
No.
Why not?
Because I feel like it's gonna ruin how I feel about
Dumbledore. Yeah.
Because Crimes of Grindelwald was kind of shit. It was kind of bad.
I liked it.
It was okay. I didn't get this whole Credence guy being a Dumbledore thing.
Oh, he's his brother. That's what they hinted at the end.
He's his brother.
Yeah.
What?
Or
Dumbledore had another brother?
Or he's a Dumbledore. That's what they hinted at the end.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I don't know. I don't like that. That's kind of dumb. It's like, no, keep it as it is. And then go from there. And then just fill in the blanks. But that, like, they just added something that's just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know because the story wasn't written beforehand.
Yeah.
How much of it was planned? Because so much stuff was planned by J.K. Rowling before.
Yeah. When
she was creating these characters, she like went in depth, right?
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell what was planned beforehand and what was planned like later, what she decided later.
I know she planned to kill Dumbledore right off the rip.
Yeah, and also like I believe she said she wrote like the epilogue and stuff after like the second book or something.
Okay.
Like not all of it, but like the basic premise of it. So she had things planned by then. But you know, because so much stuff wasn't written down, it's like what was actually planned and what did she just decide to add in later.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah. Dumbledore. I love him. I can't stop saying it. He's cool.
Yeah.
Okay? He's badass. Oh, yeah. Can you name Dumbledore's next weakness?
Killer Grindelwald?
No. No, that was him becoming the most powerful wizard in the world besides Voldemort.
But maybe it was weakness.
No. What? He didn't kill Grindelwald.
But he was weak to him. He couldn't kill him.
He couldn't kill him. No, he beat him. He beat him while Grindelwald had the Elder Wand, and he was a master of it too because he stole it.
They had a pact before. That's why he couldn't beat him.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I mean,
something happened that made the pacts go away, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
It's not. It's in the next movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They probably just ripped out each other's blood and started fighting.
Sure.
Yeah. That's probably what it was. Oh, wait, wasn't it in that little vial
it's
thing?
In the vial.
Yeah, that's right.
It's on him, yeah.
Yeah. See, it's starting to come back to me. I've only watched it once.
Oh.
Yeah, so... And then I've been seeing, like, scenes and stuff online. And then... What else can I say about Dumbledore? A lot. He's really powerful. He's kind of scary. It's true. And I love his whole... I love him and... I mean, we can get into Snape, but I love him and Snape's moments, especially in Snape's memory.
Yeah.
How Dumbledore is like, no, this has to happen. You have to be loyal. And then Snape's like, of course I'm going to be loyal because I love Lily.
Well, it's interesting, too, because we only see a short period of time with him, right? Yeah. We only see, like, 6 years.
True.
And I think it's in one of the... Yeah, in one of the Fantastic Beasts movies, you see... what is her name? The Lestrange girl.
Bellatrix? No.
No. It's...
There's a Lestrange girl in Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, it's... Anyways, you see them when they're at school, and you see young Dumbledore, and you see, like, McGonagall and stuff, too, right?
Oh, you do?
Just briefly.
Was she teaching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she's, like, young.
Nice.
But it's crazy because you're like, oh, this is Dumbledore, and you see him for 6 years, but there's so much more to him that we never see.
No, that's true.
And it would be interesting to, like, I guess we'll see more in the next.
I know. Because I would love... I would love to see, like, Dumbledore... They should do movies on... Like, they should have done movies on, like, Grindelwald and Dumbledore, you know, kind of that friendship blossom. And also kind of show, like, what kind of a, like, pretentious bitch that Dumbledore was when he was a kid. You know, like, he was kind of like Percy in a way. I was telling my girlfriend about this. Percy and Dumbledore are actually kind of similar when they were young. Because they both would just be hung up in their rooms, just studying or reading or whatever it was. But in Dumbledore's case, he was studying. Yeah. And he would just barely talk to anybody. Yeah. And, yeah, and then Dumbledore, like, after he beat Grindelwald and stuff. Where the fuck was I going with this? Oh my god.
Well, I think it's hard to judge someone based on what little we know about them.
Yeah, but I love him.
Just because, like, who I am the past, say, like, 3 years or whatever we've known each other is not who I was my whole life, right?
Wait, did you judge me 3 years ago?
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't judge me on, like, oh, I like Amanda now, right? Yeah. But that's not my whole character.
Yeah. Well,
it's easier to
was
talk.
Harry's problem.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to talk about, like, Harry and Ron and Hermione because we've seen them growing up, right?
We know their secrets.
Yeah. They were still kids, and then they went into, like, adulthood. Yeah. So we have a pretty good estimate, but we just catch glimpses of Dumbledore. Yeah. And it's when he's quite old, right? Yeah. So he was
115.
He's had this whole life and all these defining moments in it that we've never seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. Anything else about Dumbledore? Well, you know, and, like, I don't think he really had too much of a progression, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We didn't see much of him.
No, we just learned more. That's it.
When the next movie comes out, we'll probably have a lot more to say.
Yeah, that will be his progression, I think. Yeah. But they have to do it good, because if it's something just silly, then, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, if he just kind of was just like, well, I know why, because he said that he decided to stay at Hogwarts with the Elder Wand, you know, just because he knew that came into the whole wanting power thing. Yeah. He knew that, like, he was gonna, you know, end up, you know, hurting a lot of people if he continued on that path. And then he decided, you know what, if I just educate and, you know, just kind of do this thing for a while, then, you know, I think this is going to be a healthy place for me. So what I like about Dumbledore, he's also very self-aware, which is really cool.
Is he a Gryffindor?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. What do you mean? Of course he's a Gryffindor. Jeez. Like,
I could see him being like Slytherin.
He killed his lover. He didn't kill him. He beat his lover.
But I could see him being Slytherin.
He could be Slytherin.
Like self-preservation, right?
That's true too. Yeah, he could have been a Slytherin.
It's very similar to Harry, right?
Yeah, Harry could definitely be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, definitely. Not definitely.
What do you think would have happened if Harry had been a Slytherin?
Had been? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we didn't get into this, did we? I think that because everyone says that he would be friends with Draco Malfoy. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
I think he would have. I think he would have, not right away.
Yeah.
But I think he could have turned him a little more towards the right direction.
Yeah.
That, like, when you look at Draco, he doesn't have anyone good in his life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's fucking
his parents.
Jesus.
His parents, his friends, everyone, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any good direction.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to end up the way. People put a lot of parallels between Harry and Draco.
True.
In that, like, Harry could have been like Draco or the opposite.
Yeah.
But they had different people in their lives.
Yeah.
Pushing their lives, like, True. Molding it to different directions, right?
Yeah. So I wonder if Harry wasn't the chosen one.
If it had been Neville?
If it had been Neville and Harry was just a normal kid, do you think he would get sorted into Slytherin and then maybe befriend Malfoy?
Possibly, because I don't think everyone would have been as excited to see him.
No, and then he would just go, and then the sorting hat would be like, oh, you would do good in Slytherin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But another question is the reason why the sorting hat thought he would be in Slytherin, was it because of the Horcrux inside Harry?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. He displays lots of Slytherin tendencies that I don't think have to do with the Horcrux.
True.
But also then when you think about it too, if he wasn't the chosen one, his parents wouldn't have died.
No.
And, they're all Gryffindor, except for Peter. No, Peter was Gryffindor.
Peter was Gryffindor somehow.
They're all Gryffindor.
Yeah.
So that might have pushed him even more towards Gryffindor.
Yeah.
But,
his mom
you
and
could
dad
also...
were Gryffindor.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
But then also that would have completely changed everything, because if Lily didn't die, Snape wouldn't have gone to Dumbledore for help.
No.
Well, before Lily died.
True.
And then he would have just been Voldemort's right-hand man, right?
Yeah, been a Death Eater. Yeah.
He wouldn't have been this double agent.
I know. Then again, would Lily try and interfere with Snape and maybe try and get Snape to come around?
I don't think so. I think at that point it would have been too far gone.
Yeah, you think she would have just been done with him?
Yeah, well, she basically was.
Yeah, she was.
And then, they're two separate people.
Yeah.
And when he finds out, he's going to go try to kill her.
Yeah.
Right? That's when he goes to Dumbledore. Mm-hmm. And if he had just continued on that path, by the time all of this happened, I think it would have been too late.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Snape would ever kill Lily, though. I think if him and Lily were ever in a duel, just because she was in the Order of the Phoenix, right? They both were. Yeah. I think Snape would have probably just ran, like when he fought Dumbledore, or not Dumbledore, fucking McGonagall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Snape was more powerful than McGonagall?
You have to think also he's a Slytherin, which is self-preservation, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like the same thing that happens at the end with Lucius and them. Mm-hmm. They run away.
Yeah.
For self-preservation. They know they're going to lose, and they don't want to be on that losing side. So
they were sick of it, though. Because they realized that, Voldy can kind of drop us at any moment. So. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Harry has a lot of those self-preservation sort of cunning tendencies that you see throughout the years.
Yeah. So let's jump back to Harry as a Slytherin. Mm-hmm. So he still is the chosen one.
Yeah.
But sorted in Slytherin. You think he's going to be friends with Draco? I don't think so, to be honest.
I think they could have over the years formed a bond.
Maybe, yeah, because he's in Slytherin, maybe Draco would try and befriend him more because he's so famous.
Yeah.
And just be like, come on, man, like,
and he wouldn't have spent as much time with Ron.
Yeah.
Which would have changed. Obviously, I don't think Hermione would have became friends with Ron either.
Or Harry.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe eventually with Ron, but it would have been way different. She wouldn't have been like pushed right into it.
I feel like Ron and Hermione would probably maybe be in the same friend group.
Yeah.
You know, because Hermione, bless her heart, she doesn't judge a book by its cover, literally.
Yeah.
So she'll like she would be friends with Neville, and then I think if they even came across Luna, she would even like accept Luna again if that whole thing still went down just without Harry. Yeah. And then what do you think about like Dumbledore's role in Harry's life? Because Dumbledore, you know, still went out of his way to, you know, teach Harry and stuff. So I think Dumbledore maybe just would probably explain like the mentality of the Malfoy family a little bit more to him.
Well, he definitely would have understood that more too if he was in Slytherin. Being around them and sort of their upbringing, because a lot of the stuff they say, especially at the beginning, is not their own thoughts. It's just they're parroting things that they've heard. Right? And I feel like he could sort of distinguish after a while. You know, he doesn't have much interactions with them at first because he's only seeing them like in classes and stuff. But if he's seeing them all the time, and like they start to have their own personalities towards him, he would sort of be able to distinguish what they actually feel versus what their parents are sort of pushing on them.
Yeah, and like Malfoy, he's like, what was it? He was like not guilty by association, but like in the same vein of that, whatever that term is. I forgot what they said, but yeah. And I really wonder if Malfoy would be a little bit better.
I think at least Harry would have tried to stop him more at the end when he's like sneaking around and stuff, right? Yeah, they definitely.
Oh yeah, in the sixth one, if everything played, but the battle of the Department of Mysteries, though, I don't think that would happen like that, though.
That's true, and then Draco wouldn't have been forced to do that anyways.
Because that's the only reason why Draco was tasked with, you know, killing Dumbledore.
Yeah, it's like your dad effed up, so now you have to do my bidding for me to
but I
get back at him.
I don't know. That's a weird one because but
it's hard to say what exactly would have went down, but I feel like eventually it would have helped Draco for the better if Harry had been it. I think it also would have helped Harry for the worst, not helped him, but like it would have pushed him a little further to that side. Not evil in any way, but he would be a little less
do you think Harry
thoughtful of other people.
Do you think Harry had a little bit of arrogance to him?
Oh yes, for sure. No, that's what I said. He knows he's the main character. Right?
So you think his arrogance in Slytherin would be like, oh, well, you're Muggle-born, so maybe you're not as powerful. But then he would hear about Hermione and like how talented she is.
Yeah, it's hard to say because he is arrogant, but he's also more open-minded than most of the Slytherins. So I feel like he could have been a really good bridge. That they didn't have. Right?
And you know, maybe like him and Hermione were partners in fucking class, right?
You also have to look at the cursed child. Scorpius.
Scorpius is a great guy.
Yeah.
He's like the only good character out of that whole thing.
That could have been them. If, like you have to think if he had, like if Draco had better people around him. Sort of like how Scorpius did.
Who was Scorpius's mother? Do you know the name?
Yes, Astoria.
What was her name?
Astoria Greengrass.
Okay, I have no idea who that is.
Her sister Daphne was in their grade.
Okay. Yeah, and she was a Slytherin?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I believe it was probably like one of those setup type things that the Slytherins would have done. With their, like the 28 or whatever, pure blood.
Okay. Yeah, so I know. Yeah, Scorpius Malfoy is actually a great guy.
Yeah, no, I like him.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's the best part about that book.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because, you know, Malfoy had such a problem with Hermione and Ron.
Yeah.
And then Scorpius.
And Mudblood,
and then Scorpius, you know,
didn't give a fuck.
Falls in love.
Yeah, with Rose.
Rose.
Yeah. Rose Granger Weasley, sorry. Yeah.
Who is, you know, the kid of both Ron and Hermione. So
yeah.
It's an interesting.
Yeah. And I think what I like about Scorpius is I think Draco says that like, oh, you have a lot of your mother in you, and he's super happy about that because because the mother was like way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm sorry, this is a tangent. This is a little sidetrack. Wasn't Historia like
Astoria?
Whatever. Astoria.
Yeah.
Wasn't she like the same thing as Nagini? Or
a
like
snake?
No,
she had a blood curse, but it just meant
curse, that's what
if she had children, she would die.
Right.
So I believe she's supposed to already be dead.
She is.
No, at the end of the movie, in the epilogue, I believe she should have been dead.
Another plot hole.
Yeah, I don't think she lived very long.
Shit.
I don't think she would have lived till he was 11, because I believe the blood curse had to do with the fact that if she had kids, she would die.
She actually died
soon.
when he was 14, actually, in their 4th year.
Okay.
In the first child.
But she wanted to be a mother so badly that it didn't.
She's like,
it didn't matter
to her.
Take me. Yeah.
Take me, Draco. Sorry, I could see you getting a little.
With Astoria?
No, with Draco.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, where were we?
Harry and Slytherin. Oh, let's jump on to this. What do you think would happen with Sirius if he was in Slytherin?
Sirius?
Well, yeah, because Sirius broke out of Azkaban. You know, because Weasleys would still go to Egypt, and then Sirius would still see them see Peter Pettigrew in the paper.
Yeah.
So he would break out, and then everyone would be like, "Oh, he's trying to kill Harry," you know, because that's his godson. You know, and then the added thing, they would be like, "Oh, and he's Slytherin. Sirius Black hates Slytherins."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's true.
Oh, what would happen if Harry was in Slytherin?
Like,
I thought you meant if Sirius was in Slytherin. I was I don't
know.
know.
Would Sirius try like
yes?
How would that play out?
I don't think it would have even crossed his mind.
No.
For him.
Yeah.
Because
and it depends on who his friend group is.
Yeah,
too.
he loved James.
Yeah.
So he automatically loves Harry. It's his godson.
Yeah.
How it would turn out in the end? Well,
like would Harry and Sirius like, you know,
I think it would have
get into a situation where they could write to each other and stuff like they did. And
yeah, I don't think anything would have changed.
You don't think so?
No, because I don't think him being in Gryffindor had anything to do like with Sirius, you know.
Oh no, I'm saying like would they like how would that play out? Like how would other people
react?
Meet? You know, how would they meet? You know, because they met because Sirius grabbed Ron to get to Peter
get
Pettigrew.
to the rat.
I know. And then another thing about that is that Sirius would basically attack Ron without Harry being there.
Yeah, I think he would have died probably. If
like sooner?
Yeah, if it depends if Harry is still friends with Ron when he's in Slytherin.
Because they could still be friends, they just won't be that close.
Yeah, I feel like if everything was the same, basically, except that Harry was in Slytherin and he was a little more arrogant and stuff like that, but he was still really good friends with Ron and Hermione.
Yeah.
It probably could have played out the same. But otherwise, I think Sirius would have attacked Ron, probably gotten the rat, and killed him.
That would have been sweet.
And then he would have just gone back to jail probably, or died.
Or died.
Death, yeah.
Like, or get his soul sucked out. Yeah. Get kissed by his mom.
Yeah, I don't think he would have rectified things with with Harry.
Yeah, not as cleanly.
Unless Harry was there. Yeah. Right? It's so hard to say if Harry would be there or not, right?
I know. And that's and where is the common room? It's like the Slytherin common room. It's like dungeons.
It's in the dungeons, yeah.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be able to look out the window and see Sirius talk to Crookshanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then okay, now
we talk about
your favorite bad guy,
Mr. Valdi.
Are you ready? So
Tom Marvolo.
Yeah. Yeah, I really find Voldemort very interesting. And the sense that his selfishness and his arrogance is what was his downfall, and that's what I love.
Yeah, And he's so smart.
Yeah.
And it's hard because he was very sort of put together.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you sort of see him when he's younger, he's very sort of like stoic.
Yeah.
And he definitely controls his emotions, so it's hard to see what he's thinking.
But you could see it when he met Dumbledore the first time.
Yeah.
Like
no, I think he's super interesting.
He is very interesting.
And also his whole thing was he was scared of death.
Yeah.
He didn't want to die. He wanted power. And basically all this power is what caused him to die.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wasn't even very old. He could have lived much longer if he hadn't done like this whole 70? Power thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, trivia question. What is Voldemort's birthday? I just learned this the other day.
What part of the year is it in?
Next month.
Next month is in December?
Mm-hmm. What day?
December 28th.
Close. You're so close. 31st.
Oh, is it? Okay.
New Year's Eve.
New
Yeah,
Year's
man.
Eve.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, that was just a random thing. But Voldy, I find, you know what I find the most interesting about Voldy is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
It like the way his mother, like, okay, so she was like super abused by the grandfather,
mm-hmm.
by his grandfather, Marvolo Gaunt. And I think, let me run this theory by you. Do you think the reason why Voldemort is so incapable of love and he hates it was because he was the spawn, literally, of a love potion?
Probably.
I think so. Because that's the theory that some people said. They said that because it was unnatural.
Yeah.
It was like a full, like, fake love. Like he was just born without love in his heart, basically.
Yeah, I could see that. You never see any sort of emotion that
never affection. Like he only shows like that. One little tiny bit of affection towards Bellatrix in one way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not like that. I meant like she was just like, oh, we're blessed to have you in our home. No higher honor. He's like, no higher honor. That means a lot coming from you, Bellatrix. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't believe they banged.
Well, I mean, they did. And they had a child.
Didn't. It's not canon.
A love child.
Not a love child. A cursed child. Jesus.
I think he's a really interesting character,
mm-hmm.
in that it's so hard because everything he does leads to his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's just interesting. He's so smart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, do you want to start an argument?
Okay.
On the podcast?
Okay.
So we were at work, and I told you that the real reason why Harry didn't die was because of his mother's protection.
Mm-hmm.
And because Voldemort took his blood that tied Harry to life.
Yeah.
So, Movie Flame, shout out, just did a video about this not too long ago, and it is true. And he said people are confused about why Harry didn't die. Some people said it's because he was the Master of Death. Some people said it was because the Horcrux took the bullet. No, it is because he literally was tied to, because of Voldy still being alive, because of the blood curse or protection. So ha ha ha, in your face.
I'm confused. At the end you're talking about?
Yeah, when Voldemort killed Harry.
Yeah.
The reason why it didn't work was because the blood, his mother's protection was in Voldemort and still in Harry, which kept them here.
But then how did he kill him later?
He didn't. What do you mean?
Well, then how did Harry kill Voldemort?
Yeah, because he's a badass. What do you think?
But then that could just be, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. I think the Horcruxes can only be killed with certain things.
Yeah, they can only be killed with dark magic, I think.
Yeah.
They're like Fiend Fire and Avada Kedavra.
That's when he used the Avada Kedavra. It killed...
So that's so goofy, I'm sorry.
it killed the Horcrux, and it didn't kill Harry. As opposed to when Nagini died, which she was just decapitated.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Voldemort had tried to kill Harry without using magic, Harry would have actually died.
See, I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they had tried to say, use a killing curse on Nagini,
Mm-hmm.
I think it probably would have done the same thing where it killed the Horcrux, but it didn't kill her.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
I know that one's such a weird theory, though. But I think it's the most accurate because Dumbledore did mention the whole like blood thing, the protection, the mother's protection. So he just, just
is it
they never explained the other side of it. Like, what if Harry killed Voldemort because Voldemort was hit by 2 spells, including Avada Kedavra, and it was his own Avada Kedavra. So maybe,
well. So is it like a one-time thing, do you think? Like, what is that Minecraft thing? The totem?
The Totem of Undying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it kind of like you have one of those and you're just about to fall?
Interesting.
And it goes away, right? But it saves you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what the blood magic was?
It's
like a one-time thing. He's about to die.
Though, I'm not 100% on that one because I hope it's like that because what they're saying is that Harry was basically invincible otherwise.
Yeah, that's why I think it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, because then it would take away all of the risk that Harry took from the 4th book and on.
And then when when he does that and it saves him and the Horcrux is gone, would he still live if Voldemort had been able to kill him again?
True.
Right?
I know.
I feel like that kind of ruins it. And it's like, okay, well, then Harry wouldn't have ever died.
No, that's what I'm saying. I hope that's how it is, but it's never explained. Dumbledore just says it's because of your mother's protection. It's in your blood. It's in Voldemort's blood because he took your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and he took his blood when the protection was still on Harry. Yeah, so that's kind of that's a serious gray area. All you Harry Potter nerds out there, please start debating in the comments if you're watching this. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna look at what the characters say.
Okay.
Do a little.
Well, you want to get back on Voldemort, or you want to do that?
No. Keep talking about Voldemort. I'm gonna find him in here. See if it says anything.
Okay. So Voldemort, right? Voldemort, am I right? Very racist.
What would it be under? Tom Riddle?
Either Tom Riddle or Voldemort. Oh, Bellatrix Lestrange. That's odd. Is it alphabetical order?
It's by last name, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you could do either Lord Voldemort.
See Lord Voldemort, page 180. Thanks. Here's some stuff about the parents, though.
About Merope and Tom Riddle?
Mr. and Mrs. Riddle. In Half-Blood Prince, Albus Dumbledore explains how Tom Marvolo Riddle stole his uncle Morfingaunt's wand and used it to murder his father, Tom Riddle Sr., and grandparents Mr. and Mrs. Riddle at their house.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, and then that kill spawned the ring Horcrux, I believe, was killing of Morphin.
Oh, here's where it says Tom Sr., he was a handsome muggle who lived in Little Hangleton with his snobbish parents and dated a woman named Cecilia.
Hot.
Merope Gaunt placed him under an enchantment and the two eloped. However, after the enchantment wore off, he left his pregnant wife and was later killed by his vengeful son.
Yep. This is everything we know.
Lord Valdi. That's what it says. Mr. Valdi. No. House Slytherin, we know.
Yeah.
Voldemort's first wand was 13 and a half inches long and made of yew. The cores of both Voldemort's wand and Harry's are feathers from the same phoenix. Voldemort discards his wand after it proves useful against. Here's a magic fact.
Avada Kedavra.
Voldemort asked Dumbledore for the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor job and was refused. Until Voldemort's death, the job was not held by the same individual for more than a year.
Oh.
Because it was cursed.
Yes.
So after the 6th year.
Yeah.
Who is the... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, who's the Defense Against the Dark Arts in the 7th year?
I have no idea.
Right, because it was Snape. It was Snape in the 6th year.
And then he died.
No, Snape. In the 7th year, he was headmaster.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, it was the one of the Carrows. That's right.
Oh, okay,
and then it was changed to just the Dark Arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe the curse, because it was under, it wasn't the Defense Against the Dark Arts. It was just called the Dark Arts. Mm-hmm. Maybe it wasn't cursed anymore. But then again,
I think he died though.
Yeah, but then again, they kind of did. The Caros did have some serious shortcomings because one of them did do that job.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just guilty by association and a Death Eater. Yeah. And oh wait, we gotta move this.
So this is about the prophecy here.
The prophecy.
Yeah. 10 years into the war, Trelawney predicted that a young boy born at the end of July will possess the power to defeat the Dark Lord.
Yes.
Snape overheard it and told his master.
Yes.
So if Snape hadn't have told him, he wouldn't have killed Harry.
Tried to. Yeah.
And also Snape and Voldemort assumed that it was Harry when it could have easily been Neville, right?
Right. So
Wait, here.
Another side tangent. Do you think Neville's parents would have died for Neville? I think so.
His parents aren't dead.
No, I'm saying would they?
Would they have died?
If Voldy tried to
Yes.
Yeah, I think
100%.
So. I think so. Because they're so strong-willed, that's why they never gave up information, and that's why they went mad.
Says, after viewing Snape's memories, Harry learns he's also a Horcrux. Mm-hmm. Harry sacrifices himself to Lord Voldemort, believing it is the only way to defeat him. Mm-hmm. Voldemort casts a killing curse on Harry, but only destroys the part of his own soul that resides in Harry's body.
That's great.
It doesn't say anything about.
Okay, but that already sounds like it's going based off the movies.
Yes.
Because the movies really tried to hit that part home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the movies, Dumbledore never mentioned anything about a blood protection.
Although it does talk about the cursed child.
Gross.
Where adult Harry meets Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange's secret daughter.
Oh, God. And
she ensnares Harry's son, Albus, and Scorpius Malfoy.
No, wrong, bad. When was this book made?
Why?
Because bad. So bad.
I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's in a non-canon freaking thing because Pottermore is like, oh, this is really bad. We should probably take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also then it lays the question of how much of J.K. Rowling, what she says, becomes canon. Like, does she just say things and it's canon, or is it belong to the company now?
Well, she owns. Well, I told you this already. She owns the European version of Harry Potter, and the company owns the American version. Yeah. So, like Warner Brothers.
Can she just say something and it's just canon at this point, or like?
No, she can't. But because what's canon, I think what classifies as canon is what's in the story. Yeah. And in my personal opinion, the Cursed Child is just a very silly version. Mm-hmm. Like, just trying to kind of, well, honestly, it's just a money grab. Yeah. First of all.
But then also, like, Fantastic Beasts is canon now.
Well, yeah, because that can make a little bit, well, that's a prequel.
But, like, the thing is, when she came out and said that Dumbledore was gay, a lot of people were mad and saying that she was just adding it in after the fact. Yeah. Right? And it's not said anywhere in the books, so is it canon?
She said that when not all the books were out.
They weren't all out yet?
No, I don't think
so.
But
it's never mentioned in the books. Yeah. But so people were saying, oh, it's not canon because it's never mentioned. But now, because of Fantastic Beasts, it is canon. Yeah. Right? So at what point does something she decides becomes canon?
I think what made it, well, I think it's a lot of, that's such a weird thing because it's like, I think what becomes canon is kind of because there was a lot of people, yes, people were mad about the Dumbledore being gay thing, but then there was other people saying, I want to see that now. Yeah. I want to see their relationship.
That one's a tough one too, because on one point, I don't think it should matter if he says it or not, because it's not, and it doesn't have anything to do with that story, right?
No, nothing at all.
But then at the same time, it's like, oh, it would have been nice for, people to hear that and
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think people maybe put a little too much power into the author, because when you read something and you're consuming something, it's all up to interpretation too, right?
No, exactly.
So, because what people forget is, I think it's like a Mandela effect a little bit, where people say it's canon, but her exact wording was, I always saw Dumbledore as gay.
Yeah.
That's how she never said he is gay.
I think also too, what's really nice about Harry Potter is that it lets, the people consuming it sort of have their own interpretation of things.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to do so much with the stories. There's so much like merchandise and stuff that people make that is not official.
Yeah.
And, they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because they know that, the viewers are what makes the whole story and everything.
And I think that's maybe what spawned the Fantastic Beasts movies, because like I said, there's people wanting to see the Grindelwald and Dumbledore relationship.
Yeah.
And that what people are making it sound like now is that Dumbledore just was kind of in love with Grindelwald.
No, I think he was madly in love with Grindelwald.
Okay, madly in love with Grindelwald. But I think in my interpretation, he was kind of in love with him. But Grindelwald didn't really show the same thing back.
I don't think Grindelwald felt the same.
No, it didn't feel the same.
Maybe a little bit, but I think he just used him.
I think he was more using him. And maybe he was like, oh yeah, he's my friend and he's really, really powerful. And he can get me far. But but then it got bad.
Yeah.
Once Ariana got murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not murdered. Accidentally murdered. Yeah. Man, we were talking about Voldemort. One thing I like about Voldemort is I like how, I guess because I don't like him, but I like him. How did you spell that right?
What?
Voldemort.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I like how he would overlook certain things, like when he used Creature to do the cave thing. He just left Creature there, and he's like, he's just gonna die. But he didn't realize that elf magic is different.
Yeah,
and that's what started his downfall, was that Regulus Black. He didn't realize that elves could apparate out of, like their magic is different.
Yeah,
like he didn't realize that. And then I thought that was really nice to see that, like, yes, like he was that full of himself, and I think that's what I love about Voldemort, is that his weakness was, just the fact that he thought he was the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah. And
he thought he knew everything too, and no one else did. Like, he thought he knew about the Room of Requirement. He thought, like he just basically trusted people's stupidity a lot more, especially in the beginning, like when he killed his uncle. There was just like, oh, he was a wanted man already, they're not going to notice. And then same thing with what's her name, Hetzibah Smith. When he killed her, he basically manipulated the situation to be like it was the house elf.
Same with when he kills Myrtle. He's just like, oh, I can just blame this on Hagrid. He's already got creatures. He's not very smart. No. I'm a star student. Like, why would they suspect me?
Who are they going to believe? Except Dumbledore.
Oh, well, that's
called his bluff.
That's Dumbledore.
And everything. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
And also there's, with Dumbledore too, he's so strong that, like, he can just, how you said, he can just sense magic. Like, he can see Harry under the cloak, right? Obviously he knows Harry has the cloak, but there's times where it's like, oh, Harry's like, oh my god, it looks like Dumbledore's looking right at me, and it's like, he is. He's that strong that he's looking right at you.
Makes you wonder why Dumbledore never, like, outed him.
I think too is he's also kind of like a jokester that way. Maybe not as much when he was younger, but I feel like as he was older, he's just sort of like, he's a little goofy.
That's true.
Like in the very first book, when he goes and they're waiting for Hagrid to show up. And McGonagall's like, what happened? Oh my god, what happened? And he's like, you want a lemon drop? Like, what's up? Let's just relax a little.
And then I love when he dodged the question. He goes, oh, what do you see in the mirror, sir? He goes, oh, like the softest pair of socks in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that your foot? No, that's a wire. Yeah. Okay, Voldy. I'm trying to think about Voldy stuff. That's pretty much it with Voldy. Man, I realized that, this was a really good idea for a podcast, but I realized that there's a lot of not a whole lot of stuff going on with each character sometimes.
Yeah. They all sort of blend into each other. Like when you're talking about one thing, it has to do with another person too.
We went on tangents of Snape and parents and stuff. But I would talk about his father and stuff. I mean, his father's just boring. He was just a pretentious dick.
What should we talk about next episode?
Oh, I thought, okay. I was hoping to talk about the cursed child and how fucking...
I haven't finished it.
Finish it.
I won't have time.
We have a week.
Yeah, that's a long time. I have kids.
I can send you a YouTube channel where they do an audio version.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have great discussions about it.
Okay.
Which was actually the inspiration for this, at least in my eyes. Yeah. No, those two are great. I wish they would be doing better. Dead Inside, get your shit together. Because I'm coming for you.
That's my foot.
Okay. It's just I'm like, is that a cat or is that a foot? Yeah. Or a wire.
And I'll compile a list of fanfics for you.
Oh. Jeez.
I'll send you a whole mood board. I'll send you some fan art.
Mood board?
Yes. Some fan art.
What's a mood board?
A mood board?
What is that?
It's like, when you're getting ready for an event or a wedding.
Uh-huh.
And they'll have a mood board. It's different colors.
I've never heard of that.
Some sort of stuff. You've never heard of a mood board?
No.
It gets you in the mood. It sets the mood for what's going on.
Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll make up a mood board.
Okay.
And I'll send it to you.
Right.
And I want you to think about these songs. Yeah, and look at these pictures while you're reading these stories.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that episode.
Yeah. And once again, we're going to reiterate comments, what you want us to talk about. We're going to do a whole episode on Horcruxes, I think, in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, because we can talk about those for days, I think. Mixed with, I want to do a whole episode on the Cursed Child. We're going to do fanfics. We're going to do tons of things. Oh, and the mystery boxes, like we mentioned last time. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, I think we could go more in depth with the Silver Trio.
Oh yeah, that's fuck. We didn't talk about them at all. Yeah, I want to do
James and his friends.
Yeah, but I want to do. Yeah, we should do the Silver Trio.
I have a lot of stuff to say about Snape.
Let's do Snape.
Yeah,
I like Snape.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Yeah, let's just do Snape. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think Snape and the Malfoys and all of that is
the
a really
pure blood
good
side of things.
Yeah, a really good group to put together.
Yeah, and also it's a lot of symbolism behind racism and stuff like that. If you really want to get into that, yeah, controversial, love it. Still waiting for a sponsorship, Audible. Just saying.
Yeah, because I'm only on the 3rd chapter of the first book. I used my Prime account, so I got 2 free books.
Oh, nice! So
I got
Chamber of Secrets and
I got the first 2 books.
Nice.
So there's a couple more books.
Hey, just saying, I have them all on Audible.
Okay, well, I have all the books in person.
Wait, did you get the 6th one this time?
No, I don't know where it is. What the? It's somewhere. It's
Amanda.
somewhere in the house.
Okay.
But I don't have enough time to sit down and open up a book.
Yeah, well, you gotta listen.
That's what I mean. That's why I need the other books.
Okay.
So
there we go. Love it. So I guess we're well over an hour. So do you want to end it?
It's a good stopping point for
this
episode.
So I know we were kind of all over the place this one.
Definitely a stream of consciousness, just going for it.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I get really fucking nervous right before we start filming, and then it gets better as it goes on.
Yeah.
I was feeling it right in the first 20 minutes of this. So, yeah. But now I'm good.
Yeah. And it'll just get better from here. We'll get less nervous.
I'm gonna be a little bit more mentally prepared.
Yeah. So. Seb started watching the first episode the other day, and he was like, "You were so nervous at the beginning."
Yeah. That was me this one, and you were kind of the driver, which I'm okay with. So. Yeah, but till the next time, we have links. I have links. You didn't have links last time.
No, I just linked our Instagram.
Yeah, I know.
I put a picture of me with a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have links. Someone's gonna have links. Instagram.
Yep.
Oh, when's the video game coming out?
I think it's in like 2 months.
Okay. So I don't know if we're gonna do. We'll talk about that off camera, but might do some streams or even a video of playing the game.
We're gonna have a whole episode probably just on that reunion.
That's true too. Yeah, in January. Yeah. So
that's only a month away.
That's true. Yeah. So there you go. So lots to look forward to. We really appreciate everyone watching. The last episode, especially for channel with no subs, did really well. So really appreciate everyone. So bye.